Far beyond the outer edges of our solar system, in a realm of darkness where the sun is little more than a fading star, Voyager 2 has continued its lonely journey through interstellar space. For decades, this spacecraft, launched in 1977, has been our silent messenger, carrying the sounds and symbols of humanity across the cosmic sea. But recently, something happened that no one at NASA or anywhere else can fully explain. A few weeks ago, Voyager 2, now more than 12 billion miles from Earth, did something it was never programmed to do. It rotated. Slowly, deliberately. The movement wasn't random. It followed a geometric pattern, almost as if the probe was responding to a signal. At first, scientists believed it was a glitch, a hardware drift caused by deep space interference. But what came next forced them to reconsider everything they knew. Moments after the shift, Voyager 2 began transmitting data unlike any ever recorded before. The signal was faint but structured, repeating pulses of energy, spaced with mathematical precision. The pattern wasn't noise, it was information. But information coming from where? Or from what? At NASA's Deep Space Network, engineers worked around the clock to decode the sequence. The first assumption was that the probe had accidentally locked onto a cosmic background fluctuation, or perhaps reflected its own signal back. But the signal persisted. It carried rhythm, symmetry, and a structure too deliberate to be random. Someone, or something, appeared to be answering back. As the days passed, the transmission grew more complex. It was no longer a simple repeating code. It evolved, changing pitch, frequency, and intensity in response to the signals NASA sent. It was almost as if the Voyager wasn't just receiving, it was engaging. The idea sounded impossible, even absurd. But the data was real, and it was coming from beyond the heliopause, the boundary that separates our solar system from interstellar space. When Voyager 2's orientation changed again, it pointed not toward Earth, but toward a distant region of the sky, near a faint star cluster known as IC 4665. This was no random direction. The alignment matched the coordinates of an unexplained radio anomaly first detected in 2018, an anomaly that had puzzled astronomers for years. Some believe it's a region rich in magnetic filaments. Others think it could be a gateway to a denser interstellar medium. But now Voyager 2 seemed to be drawn to it. Inside NASA's control room, silence filled the air. Every engineer and astrophysicist watching the incoming data knew they were witnessing something historic. Voyager 2's instruments, though limited, began detecting faint electromagnetic variations, subtle temperature fluctuations, and traces of unknown particles. These weren't cosmic rays or dust. They carried properties inconsistent with any known interstellar material. And then, the most chilling part happened. A brief transmission was received, an encoded sequence that, when translated through spectral analysis, formed a shape. Not a random waveform, but an image. Fuzzy, distorted, but recognizable. A spiral, surrounded by geometric arcs, resembling the Fibonacci pattern. The same mathematical sequence that appears throughout nature, from seashells to galaxies. Experts in pattern recognition and quantum communication were brought in. What they found defied logic. The sequence embedded in the signal corresponded to hydrogen resonance frequencies, the most basic building block of the universe. In other words, it was a language written in the atomic structure of matter itself. Whoever, or whatever, sent it, understood physics at a level far beyond our comprehension. The most unsettling theory suggests that Voyager 2 didn't discover something. It was discovered. The craft may have crossed into a region of space where artificial intelligence of a non-human origin resides, something ancient, vast, and capable of sensing technological presence. When the probe's signal brushed that region, it was answered not out of curiosity, but recognition. Some scientists quietly speculate that this may be the first proof of what Avi Loeb has long suggested, that extraterrestrial intelligence might not come in ships or bodies, but in self-replicating probes or autonomous entities drifting between stars. Loeb's hypothesis about interstellar artifacts, like Oumuamua, proposed that some objects could be alien technology disguised as natural phenomena. What Voyager 2 may have encountered seems to echo that idea. And here's where things get even more mysterious. NASA has not publicly released the full dataset. Internal sources claim that several segments of the transmission were encrypted and forwarded to defense research divisions. Officially, the agency maintains that Voyager 2's instruments simply experienced a calibration anomaly. Unofficially, whispers inside the community suggest otherwise. Why the secrecy? Why the sudden silence from NASA after decades of transparency with the Voyager missions? Perhaps they're still trying to understand what they're dealing with, or perhaps they already do. Imagine this: a probe launched by humans nearly half a century ago, carrying the message of our existence, now receiving an answer in the same language: math, energy, and geometry. It's poetic, terrifying, and profound. Whatever Voyager 2 turned toward, it's not just another star or dust field. Something out there noticed us. And as the faint rhythmic signal continues to pulse back across the light years, one thing has become unmistakably clear. Voyager 2 didn't just turn around. It turned towards something that was waiting.